So, sarvātmabhāva means ekatma. Though you don't see anything other than yourself. That is the state. There is nothing other than self. That is the state. Not seeing everywhere yourself. That is impossible. Only when there is duality, even an iota of duality, if there is there, then atasya bhayam bhavati, udaramantaram kurte atasya bhayam bhavati. Even iota of duality, if you see, you are in samsara. So he is not going to see everywhere his own self. He is going to see very clearly only his own self. Okay? Now, sarvātmabhāvo viduṣā brahma vidya phalam viduh jīvanmuktasya tasyaiva svānandanubhava phalam. sarvātmabhāvo viduṣah brahma vidya phalam viduh jīvanmuktasya tasyaiva sva anandanubhava phalam. sarvātmabhāvah brahma vidya phalam viduh viduṣah brahma vidya phalam viduh. For the vidwan, for the learned one, the result of Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of self, is a sarvātmabhāva. Kevalatva. Kevala means oneness, non-dualness. Okay? So that is what is his result. That is what is understood, accepted. Viduhu. Now, tasyaiva, jīvanmuktasya tasyaiva. For him, when he is jīvanmukta, because he is jīvanmukta, while alive, while people think he is alive, he is liberated. While we are alive, at that very point we get liberated, because until then we are alive, we die, etc. Those ideas were there, erroneous ideas were there. So when he gets liberated while alive in this very body, then svānandanubhava phalam. The result is one's own inherent bliss of the inherent nature. That's the result. Okay, and I have already told you, the bliss, experiencing bliss means he will not be always smiley. No. That is a devoid of any attribute. So this happiness is also an attribute kind of. So it doesn't exist there. What is there and how to experience that? It's not possible. So Swananda Anubhava means it is not a boring nature. It is a very peaceful state. No thoughts itself is a peaceful state. That is what is bliss. Okay? No. Yoham mametyadi. How? What is that? So he says, Yoham mametyadi asadatmagahako grantilayam yati savāsanāmayah samādhina naḥśyate karmabandha brahmātmabodho'pratibandha. Yo aham mama ityadi asadatmagahakah granti layam yati savāsanāmayah samādhina naḥśyate karmabandha brahmātmabodho'pratibandha. Okay, aham mama ityadi, I, mine, etc. asadatmagahakah. This idea of erroneous knowledge of self in non-self, that erroneous knowledge, vasanamaya, which is because of the thought inference, yah granthi, which is the knot, sa samadhina layam yati, that gets removed through samadhi. I'll explain. Through the samadhi, the idea of erroneous knowledge like I, mine, etc. gets removed. This is the knot of the heart. In the Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, it is said, Drishyat, Chityate, Hridaya Granthi, Vidyate, Granthi, Chityante, Sarva Samshya, Kshiyante, Chasya Karmani, Tasmin Drishte Paravare, Vidyate, Hridaya Granthi, Vidulru Chetane, to cut. His Hridaya Granthi is knot of the heart is cut asunder. What is the knot? This is what is the knot. And how is this knot? Because Vasanamaya, this is because of the thought influence. The activities, whatever we do, is all because of the thought influence. It's not because of the activity itself. How? See, when I refer to I, me, okay, when I point out to myself, I say me, myself, me, etc. Right? But this hand, when I point to my hand, it becomes my hand, not me hand. No, it is my hand. Okay, so I have a very clear idea of I in the body, complete body, and the parts I have the idea of mine, not I. Okay, with respect to the self, I have only the knowledge that I. There is no myself. The idea of myself is a misnomer. There is only I. Okay, then with respect to the self, I. With respect to the body sensor complex, I or mine. Okay, with respect to the external world, it is only mine. Even though sometimes because of a great love or attachment, we can have the idea of mine with respect to the dog, cat, or car, phone, etc. But still, if something happens to any of that, we don't get completely devastated, destroyed. Okay, at least he died a peaceful death. At least that car gave me good mileage and all. Some excuse or other we'll always give. We are not completely gone. Okay, so these ideas of I, mine, etc. are very clearly determined. That is because of the thought imprints. That thought imprints completely gets destroyed. This is what is said in Yoga Sutra also. When you practice samadhi, there is a knowledge called prajna that rises. And this prajna, what does it do? It destroys the thought imprints, vasana. And because of that, your samadhi gets empowered. And because of which, again, you have prajna. And because of which, the destruction of vasana. So this is a cycle. Samadhi, prajna, vasanakshaya. Samadhi, prajna, vasanakshaya. This cycle goes on until the vasanas are completely removed. Okay, so sagranthi, that is the granthi, that is what is cut. Okay, that is the first. Second is niḥśeṣaṃ chasya karmani karmabandha nashyati. The bondage of karma also gets destroyed. brahmātmabodho'pratibandha ishyati. And because of that, he gains, that is when he gains the brahmātmabodha, the identity between the absolute self and individual self, without any obstacle. Apratibandha. Without any obstacle, he gains that clarity. Okay, now. येष निष्कण्टकः पन्था मुक्तेः ब्रह्मात्मना स्थितेः शुद्धात्मनां मुमुक्षूणां यद् सदेकत्वदर्शनम्. येष निष्कण्टकः पन्था मुक्तेः ब्रह्मात्मना स्थितेः शुद्धात्मनां मुमुक्षूणां यद् सदेकत्वदर्शनम्. This path is called as a path, royal path, Rajamarga, royal path. Why is it called as royal path? Because Shuddhatmana mokṣaṃ, for the one with a purity of mind, for the one who desires a liberation, for them, yad sadekatva darshanam, this sadekatva darshanam, brahmātma ikya sakshatkara, the vision of the identity between the individual self and absolute self, this knowledge of identity between individual self and absolute self, this yesha brahmātmaste, which helps him to be established as the brahmātman. Muktehe nishkantakah pantha. This is a nishkantakah pantha. Patha, path. Okay, patha from the root word path. Path is path. Pantha means the path. This is the path which is nishkantakah. Nishkantakah means kanta means a thorn. A thornless path. Mean a path without any obstacle, any trouble. Easy path. Okay, for liberation. This is the easiest path for liberation. So, okay, now you know what is the easiest path for liberation. What should you do? What are you waiting for? Tasmat tvam chāpya pramattaha samadhīn krutva granthim sadhu nirdahya muktah nityam brahmānanda piyūṣa sindhau majjan kridan modamāno namasva. Tasmat tvam chāpi apramattaha samadhīn krutva granthim sadhu nirdahya yuktah nityam brahmānanda piyūṣa sindhau majjan kridan modamāno namasva. Tasma, therefore, tvam chapi, you too. Not you too, Brutus. You too, you seeker, you too. Apramattaha, without any carelessness. Yuktaha, keep having your sense organs under check. Samadhin krutva, practicing this samadhi. Granthim sadhu nirdahya, destroying, burning all the bondages, all the knots of ignorance, the knots of thought imprints, the knots of karmas, all the knots, burning all of them. Nityam brahmānanda piyūṣa sindhau majjan, get immersed, majjan, get immersed in water, the always get immersed in Brahma Ananda Piyusha Sindhu. Brahmananda, the bliss absolute. Okay, Piyusha means nectar, elixir. Sindhu means ocean. Get immersed in the ocean of bliss of elixir, the elixir ocean of bliss. But I told you, if you take a drop, you will get immersed in it. You will drown in it. So he says, majjan, getting drowned in. Immersed in, instead of immersing, drown is the best word. But wait, getting drowned, do you want us to kill ourselves there? No, you cannot kill. That is the beauty here. You cannot kill yourself even if you get drowned there. Why? Because you are getting drowned in what? Piyusha Sindhu, the ocean of elixir. In the ocean of elixir, you cannot drown. But still, drowning is a painful thing, right? So he says, Kridan, playing. So there is no pain here. You are enjoying it. So not just modamana, enjoying it, playing there, drowning, playing there, modamana, enjoying it, ramasva, lead a very happy life. Okay, this is what is said in other places also. In the Upanishads also said, Atma Kridar Atmaratihi. In Gita ji also it is said, Yastvatmaratireva syat atmaduttascha manavaha. So one who is a Atmarati, one who is involved in the Atma, one who is satisfied with the self, etc. All these are said there. Okay, now this is also called as yoga. Okay, so yoga, if we say, if we are giving this path of knowledge, yoga. But if you say yoga, then you have to explain if it is similar to the eight limbs yoga which Patanjali Maharshi says. So for that he says, Nirvikalpa samadhiyo vritti naishchalya lakshanaha tameva yoga ityahuhu yoga shastrarthako vidaha. Nirvikalpa samadhi yo vritti naishchalya lakshanaha tameva yoga iti ahuhu. Yoga shastrarthako vidaha. Nirvikalpa samadhi vritti naishchalya lakshanaha yo nirvikalpa samadhi. This nirvikalpa samadhi, what is nirvikalpa samadhi? Vritti naishchalya lakshanaha. It is of the nature of nischalata of vritti. Nischalata of vritti means the vritti, the thought function becomes silent. It is completely removed. So the thought function without any turbulence, without any change, the thought function does not arise. It just stays put. That's all. That kind of nirvikalpa samadhi which we say, that tameva, that very nirvikalpa samadhi is referred to as a yoga shastrarthaka vidaha yoga ityado, as yoga by the people who know about yoga shastra. Okay. Now, if you call this state of nirvikalpa samadhi where there is no disturbance of thought as yoga, then are you also referring to the eight limbs? Yes. But for people who don't know what these eight limbs are, he is enumerating those eight limbs next. Ashtau vangani yogasya yamo niyama asanam pranayama tatha pratyahara chapi chadharanam dhyanam samadhityeva nigadanti manishinaha. Ashtau angani yogasya yamaha niyamaha asanam pranayama pratyahara dharana dhyana samadhi. Eight limbs of yoga. These are the eight limbs. So we are now enumerating these eight limbs. What are the eight limbs? The name nomenclature is done here. Now we'll take each one of them and we'll discuss with respect to the yoga. Okay. Now yogasya ashtau angani. What are the eight limbs? Yama. First limb is yama. With reference to yama, satyasteya, etc. is what is said in the Yoga Sutra. Okay, so we are going to see that also, ahimsa, satyasteya, aparigraha, yamaha, etc. Now we'll use the also, and with reference to the sutra, we'll see. Now, simply put, yama means a purity of mind. Niyama, external purity, purity of sense organs. Okay, let us put it like that. Because niyama also, when you talk external purity is yama, and internal purity is niyama. Because internal purity, shaucha, santosha, etc., they are all with respect to the mind. Okay, now we need to have external purity and internal purity. External purity and internal purity means we need to have a proper lifestyle. That is what is important. See, why I say proper lifestyle instead of external purity and internal purity is next thing is asana. Asana means sitting posture. When you don't have this proper lifestyle, then you cannot sit properly. When you can't sit properly, the fourth stage pranayama is impossible for you to perform. This is see, without any proper, see, the food practice should be proper. You should avoid meat, etc. You should eat only sattvic food, non-oily, non-greasy, etc. All that you should have to follow. People now eat anything and everything, and they want to practice pranayama directly. This is a craze, not west, not east, not south. Everywhere this is a craze. Everyone wants to practice pranayama. You are already doing pranayama. Pranayama means breathing in and breathing out. That is pranayama. What is pranayama? Now, the problem is, if you are going to yama, if you are going to control the pranas in this way without any preconditions, without any pre-practice, without preparing, then you are going to end up in trouble. So, first is yama, second is niyama. First is external purity, second is internal purity, then third is properly being seated. Fourth is practicing the pranayama. Fifth is pratyahara. Okay. Sixth is dharana. Seventh is dhyana. Eighth is samadhi. Okay. Each one we will see what they are. Ityeva manishinaha yogasya ashtavangani nigadanti. These are the 8 limbs which the people who know about yoga say as yoga. The 8 limbs of yoga. Okay. Now we'll see this. Om purnamadah purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamādāya purnamevavashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti.